Am I peeling it?
No.
I'll have to go harder.
No. You're using the wrong side, bro.
What am I using? Oh.
Bro, what?
Knife work is one of the most important skills in cooking to turn your food from good to great. In this video, we're going to teach you all the essential knife skills you'll need to know so that you have more control over your ingredients and your food with Executive Chef Jakes. So what is the problem that most cooks face when it comes to knife work?
First, how to pick proper knife for proper ingredients.
Right.
Second thing, lots of the ingredients, maybe you are a new beginner. You don't get used to it. You don't know what's the texture, what's the structure of the food, of the ingredient itself. So you don't know what's the best way to process it. For example, when you're cutting onions, if you are cutting it the wrong way, it makes you easier for frying, right? Like if you are using your onion for saute, if you are using onion for pickle, you have different way of cutting it to make the results better. For example, if you are cutting carrots, I think carrots is the only ingredients and the most hard in the texture ingredients that we actually need to dice them, brunoise them, or julienne them. And when we're cutting shallots, what's a perfect brunoise for the chef? What's a perfect brunoise, like different purpose of using? When you're cutting a bell pepper, how do you make it all in an even size? How do you make sure that your bell pepper look nice and firm? The cutting surface is always dry, a heck of dry. But when you cutting bell pepper, it's wet.
Okay, there's a lot, man.
Yes.
All right, let's get started. First is our
Tomatoes.
Okay.
The most easy flavor vegetables.
So why don't you tell me how you want them and I'll try.
So, do you know about pico de gallo? The tomato salsa we put on top of all the tacos? I want that kind of dice.
So it's a square dice.
Yes, but smaller form.
Okay.
So I'm going to cut the tomato to half. So you got half, I got half.
Okay, so I'm just gonna guess how that's gonna be cut.
So I just want like about, let me find a sample for you. I'm not going to cut the tomato for you because I don't want you to know how to cut it proper. Pico de gallo, I'm looking for this size square, okay?
Okay, so they're looking for this size square. Oh my god.
So
Okay, so how I'm gonna approach it is I'm just gonna cut it across this way and then try to get it as closely to the square as possible. So there's probably a lot of stuff to learn here right now. Is one.
No, it's okay. I'm already pissed off.
Okay, so that's okay. So I got it lined up kind of like apples right now, and then I'm just gonna go this way. Okay, so these are the size of our tomato cuts. If you wanted the size of that carrot, this is not close.
Let's see something, okay?
Yeah.
So first thing, all your tomato are uneven.
Yeah.
Once the season, once the salt touch the tomato, there's gonna be lots of moisture coming out, and some of the small pieces will be very overseasoned. That's why knife work is the basic structure of all the cooking. You can cut proper size, you cannot cooking proper food.
Right.
So I'm going to show you how to cut as a professional chef. First, grab your tomatoes,
Okay.
cut it open from here.
How?
And then, why your tomato is watery? Because all the cells over here, it's packed with water. So what we do is, we take our knife, we took it off.
I see.
And this is a nice piece for chef.
Okay. Eat yourself.
So we take off the inside part, which is very watery and humidity part. So over here, we have a nice piece of tomato that's even in the size. And then we put it down.
Interesting. You did a forward motion. I was doing a backward motion.
Well, never slice your knife back to you. So here we have some nice strips. And then so here we go, the nice diced tomato. So what, even you heat up with salt, pepper, all the seasoning, it doesn't become water.
Right. So the right side is my cuts and the left side is chef cuts.
The key thing that when we're doing knife work about every single ingredients is make it onto a nice flat surface that have an even thickness, then cut it through. So next one, cherry tomatoes.
Right.
So when we are cutting the cherry tomatoes, because it's a slippery fruits and vegetables, right? Make it much more dangerous and harder to just cut onto your finger.
Okay.
So normally we hold this way. So when you hold this way, you have to know, even I have a big hand, if I'm using a giant knife like this, that means I'm risking myself with this giant piece of knife that whole thing will go through and stab into my hands.
Okay.
So I always use a smaller one because it's much more easier.
Right.
And it's less dangerous.
Right.
So next ingredient, the most hard part, the carrots.
Okay. Why is this the most hard?
Because it is hard.
Okay. Sure.
Well, the texture, the structure,
Uh-huh.
when you're cutting carrots, it's a round shape of vegetable, so you have to find a surface that how to make it become like stable on the table. So first thing, peel your carrots.
Okay.
Do you still remember the peel technique?
Yes and no. Am I peeling it?
No.
I have to go harder.
No. You're using the wrong side, bro.
What am I using? Oh.
Bro, what? You always peel from this side. This side has no blade. Always peel from this side.
All right, mistake number 1. Oh, that's why. Is this peeled?
No, it is. But I want to show you how to peel properly.
Sure. Okay.
Always grab your vegetable. Doesn't matter what you peel this way.
Right.
As this, start from the top to the bottom. So peel, one by one. And then check which part that you didn't peel properly. I get one more shot. Or you want to do a super chef way. And what I do over here is
Do half on one side quickly.
uh-huh,
Other side.
and the other side. So let's do this one. So we got whole carrots. So what we do is we don't cut in half to find the surface area. Is we cut from here.
Ah, that was an easy fix.
And this piece you can still julienne because it's a slice as well. So I didn't see any point that why it cannot be julienne.
Right. Okay.
And then this is half of it. I'm going to keep it over here because over here you see it's the wrong side from the other side. So if I cut this way, it's not going to be even. So I'm going to stack up my carrots and keep it on the side for now, and then julienne later, and then continue with this one. So once it's arrived to the end, that means your vegetable is not safe to cut anymore. But when you are at home, you don't want to really do it. So normally we will take this way.
That's a really risky move.
Well, as a chef, you have to. So now you have 2 stacks of carrots. What we do is grab a carrot, go slowly.
And eat those.
Or vegetable stock. So let's finish the carrot first and show the audience the difference between.
Your julienne and my julienne?
Yes. Here we go.
Okay.
Actually, you do a pretty nice job.
Overall, yeah, some of mine are some big, some small, and yours are just all pretty uniform. It's subtle. It's like maybe like a 15% difference.
Yes. So the second last ingredient is the bell pepper, which is people always having problem with.
Right.
So here we cut the
Stem off.
stem off.
And it's okay to have a little bit of the root of the stem.
Yeah, because I'm going to take it off over at the end. Because cutting the stem off will make it a flat surface.
Right.
And then
So this is going to be used for one thing.
yes.
And you're cutting like the... How do you know when to cut or by feel?
When you look at here, you know that around this stem,
That's where
like
the seeds
about 2 centimeters,
Right.
1.5 centimeters, is all the, I call it the bone. Like this part, I call it the bone of the.
Oh, you don't even
bell
want
pepper.
this part as a...
I don't want the white part. As long as this piece, this piece, this piece, this piece, even this piece, I'm okay to serve it to you.
Okay.
And now for this one, which size you want? You want a cube, a julienne,
Right.
a brunoise? Which one you like?
I don't even know what a brunoise is.
Well, brunoise.
So
It's a fine dice.
fine dice.
Yes.
So, and a cube is just not
A cube is,
just a cube.
let me show you.
Okay, a cube is a cube.
Cube is a cube.
And a brunoise is fine dice.
Yes.
So it doesn't matter as long as it's just small. The shape is not important. So on the right side here is a brunoise, and on the left side here are the cubes.
I'm going to show you a middle dice, okay? So which is, so control the tempo of how you're cutting the things. That's how you get the best results.
This is called a middle dice.
Well, I call it dice.
So in between brunoise and cube.
Yes.
Okay, so brunoise from smallest to medium to large cubes.
And one last thing, super easy, simple. Julienne.
Okay, just keep it straight. So like all the things we're cutting today, it'll apply to what percentage of cutting?
All of them.
All?
Yeah.
All
Like
vegetables.
All vegetables. All this cutting, you can apply for all the terms of cutting.
Let's move on to our last one.
So let's go with the onion first.
Okay.
First thing is I want you to show me how to cut your onion to half.
First of all, I don't need to peel it.
Neat.
What was that response? I don't even know how to peel it.
Well, okay, I'm going to show you the peeling, okay? So when you peel an onion, it's pretty easy. So this part is the root part. So it has the roots over here. And this part is the top part. So they grow up like this, right?
Yeah.
So take your knife, cut through here.
Okay.
Cut the top off. And then when you cut the bottom, do not cut it up because I want to peel the whole one. Because the root keep it together.
Yeah.
So just cut a little bit off, okay?
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
And then, before you peel it, cut it to half. Can you pass me another onion? Okay, next step, that's brunoise. So over here, I'm going to show you my way of my brunoise, okay? Take the root off, which is the way that no one will ask you to do it.
Okay.
And then, cut it to half.
Okay.
And then, I want this part. And for this part, I will keep it either for like sliced onion for my pickling or put into my stock, okay?
Okay.
I got my onion over here onto the table. Good. Kind of organize it. Hold your hand.
That is so fine. That's pretty much like you minced it.
That's my brunoise. So let's show the camera.
High school teacher method brunoise, and then this is the chef style brunoise, Chef Jamie style brunoise.
I'm going to go fast in the shallots because shallots and onion are same family. So I want to show you that how to brunoise a shallot when you have a weird shape of shallots. So for shallots, we just cut the bottom, cut the top, and then cut in half and take the thing out. And for the inside part, because shallots are much more expensive than onion, I don't want to use it for my stock. I'll just cut from the middle. And then I want to make sure all part of my shallots are used. Over here, mash it. So that's my way of cutting the shallot into a bowl and show the audience later. The traditional way of cutting the shallots. Here we go.
From a far distance, it looks similar, but when you look deeper, this side has more of these bigger, longer pieces. Ah.
So that's pretty much it for today.
All right. To recap, today we pretty much learned almost all of the knife work, or if anything, all the foundations of knife work we need in cutting everything.
Yes.
Right? So we learned the julienne, brunoise, mid-dice.
Like, do not get in so much into the French system of cutting each piece of different knife cutting.
Right. It's just need to be a standard of what size.
Yes.
To just know how to achieve that you want.
So don't worry about julienne, brunoise, like bicep, all the French calling of different pieces. Just when they ask you to do this, you need to have a definition about what's your definition of this.
Yes. I hope you guys found this video useful. If you did, please like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what questions you have down below, and please check out this video.